How are you, friends at YouTube? My name is Mike. This channel right here is Health and Wealth. Thank you for joining me today on another episode of MSTY. I want to talk about the previous week. I want to talk about how they did with their fund, and are we going to make some money this month? Let's find out. All right. So first of all, I don't want to make it too long of a video. I want to make sure that you guys are entertained, you like this content, and if you do, share it with me by hitting the like button, the subscribe, and joining the membership. I've got 5 members so far, trying to get to 10 at least, so we can do some lives with them. All right. All right. So first of all, here's Bitcoin's price today. Now I'm recording this Saturday morning, 11:36 in the morning, and yeah, I mean it's just sitting here, right? 84,000. If we take a look out at 5 days, it's just sat there for the last 5 days at the same price, basically. Which has had some lower numbers down here, has some higher numbers as well. For me, I'm trying to get this thing to. I'm trying to get this thing. I'd like to see this thing get to 75,000 so that I can buy more. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. But I'll tell you what I did do was I got paid yesterday, and I just dropped another $100 into it. If you've been following along, I've been paying $100 every paycheck for the last, I don't know, 7, 8 weeks. And the battle plan is if this thing gets to 75,000, I'm going to double that investment into Bitcoin. So MicroStrategy, I'm still calling it MicroStrategy because it says it right here. Now they want to be called Strategy. Had a pretty decent week, $304. If you look at the last 5 days, you're up 4%. If you look at the last month, up 7%. So, MicroStrategy did have a rough decline, a few months ago, or I guess it was a couple months ago here, of it, had all-time highs of $473. So you can see quite the decline since then, down 35% from November 20th till today. But yeah, just a steady increase in share price here. And I want to just kind of explore how that helps us as MSTY holders. Now, MSTY ETF here itself at $21.57. My average is $28 and something. I just looked at it. I have 173 shares. I want to talk about, can we get it to a certain number by the end of this month? I don't think we can, but let's find out. So there's the last 5 days up 4.96%. I would take that for a weekly increase, 5%. I'd take that all day. Last month, though, down 2.35%. A lot of people, couple people are not happy with the share price because they bought in at all-time highs. For me, just remember, if a ETF or a stock is at an all-time high, I think, what could make this go down, right? What are the reasons that this could go down? If it's at all-time high, I'm trying not to buy at all-time highs because they haven't been tested at those all-time high levels. And for me, I like to buy when stocks and ETFs are lower. Now, that's just me. This is not financial advice. I'm just a guy wearing a Game of Thrones t-shirt here. Winter is indeed not coming. Actually, today it is. It's freezing outside. But yeah, I just think buying at all-time highs is a bad decision. And if you believe in the company or the stock or the Bitcoin as an example, then buying at a little lower might be a good idea for me. I'm just going to bring it back to me every time so that that guy in the back doesn't say Mike suggested getting this, because I don't recommend anything ever. Don't buy anything ever. But for me, I'm going to be buying more MSTY coming up here. Yeah, like I said, my average price is $28. It's probably like around $28.57. I only have 173 shares, but I am going to try and take that thing to a certain number by the end of this month. Here's YieldMax's website. Now, YieldMax's website is interesting to look at for a number of factors. I'm going to share with you how I got here. If you're new to YieldMax's website, there's their website. I hovered over our ETFs. I hovered over the very first one here covered called ETFs. And then I went down and I found MSTY, which is right here. Clicked on that. That brought me to this page. Now, when you get to this page, they like to be flashy and say, look at our distribution rate. It's 82.94%. Well, that was as of yesterday. That's what their percentage was. But that number changes every single day. Don't rely on that number to be gospel, right? That's not the number that you're not gonna make 82% a year on this fund. But if past history is future performance, which it's not, but if it was, you'd probably be making a heck of a lot more than that. Misty's paid out its shareholders in 11 months, plus a bunch more money, which is unheard of. It's crazy. Nobody's ever seen this happen before. But that's part of the reason why I'm in this fund, because it pays out such a lucrative distribution. Let's go down. Let's take a look here. There are all of its distributions. Its last one was $1.37, but every one before that was in the around $2 range to $4 range. So it has paid out 11 times, I believe, and number 12 is coming up in about 3 weeks from today. So what I did is I went ahead and I just took a look at a couple numbers here. I saw that their net assets is $2.33 billion. Now that's how YieldMax makes money, by having money in the fund. They get a gross expense ratio of 0.99%. Let's call it 1. And so if you just take that 1 divided by the 2.33 billion, that's how many millions of dollars they're making a year from you putting your money in. And so in turn, by you putting your money into this fund, they trade calls, they sell puts, they create these things called synthetic options, with the hopes that MSTR goes slightly up. Okay. And so what I've done is I've taken a look at a chart here, and I found this chart on YieldMax's website, actually. So it wasn't very difficult to find, but there's a couple of different places you can go. You can go to intraday trades, download here. Now that's going to be more like daily trades. And to get that one more accurately, you want to open that between 6 and 9 p.m. I actually went down to download all holdings, and this is the chart that I found. Let me just drag it up here to this screen so you can see it. I have color coded it a little bit here just to make it a little more visually appealing for you. But yeah, it can be very confusing looking, for sure. So I'm going to start at the top, and then I'm going to actually go top to bottom here. So the very first line, number 2 and 3, these are called synthetic options. And the people at YieldMax have created a synthetic option for April 17th, and they're hoping that the price of MSTR is over $250. Now, when they create this option, they put all that money out. So if it's under 250, well, we don't lose a lot of money. They would have to close it, where that's where you would lose money. But if it's over 250, again, they close it, and that's where we make money, right? So we're hoping that it's over $250 by April 17th. So that's the one. And I want to highlight the greens down at the bottom here. So these are the calls, and those are the puts, right? And so what that means is that's that created synthetic option. And so it's all for the same price. So the first line number 2 is $250. Line number 23, $250. Line number 23, sorry. Line number 3, $260, and then line number 24 here, 260. So you can see they kind of tie off, and they're like yin and yang of each other. Now, I've highlighted those green, and the reason that I've highlighted them green, I'll go back here to Mister's price. It's at $304 right now. So if we fast forward this price to April 17th, then that would be a win for us. We would make just a ton of money, a ton of money on the synthetic option there. Now, remember, the price today is 304. We'll go back. They have a third option, or a third synthetic option here, line number 4, and the number is $330. And then all the way down here, line number 25, which I'll highlight the words black here, is 330, right? So the yin and yang. So that right now, I've highlighted it orange because we're not quite at $330 yet, right? We're at $303. So that one has not made us any money. If we fast forward to April 17th, YieldMax would have to close this synthetic put, or maybe they would roll it, and that would cost money, right? You wouldn't make money. That would cost money at that point. So that's interesting. I also highlighted the next bunch of things that I want to talk about in yellow here. These are upcoming weekly calls that we're looking at. And so, I mean, for me, I'm kind of a dum-dum, and I like to look at things pretty easily. So anything with a minus sign is the call. Anything with the no minus sign would be like a credit call spread. And so the numbers for these minus signs should equal the numbers for the non-minus signs right here. But these are the weekly calls, and the goal for the weekly calls is that we hope that MSTR doesn't go above these numbers, right? And so we're looking at 320, 322, 325, 327, 330. And so we're hoping that MSTR doesn't go above those numbers. Now, it's possible if Bitcoin takes off, and if Bitcoin takes off, YieldMax has set up something called a credit call spread, which are far, far higher than these, but they're kind of like insurance, if you will. What they do is if there is massive upside on MSTR, then these are here to protect us. Now, these do cost money to put in place. It's just like if I buy a car, I got to buy insurance that costs money, right? And that's what those do. They cost money. So far, they haven't been very useful. I think only maybe one or two times ever in the history of credit call spreads at YieldMax they've actually been triggered. But that's after probably hundreds of times. So when they make these credit call spreads, they tend to put them very high, like $385. That's expiring this next Friday. Do they really anticipate that MSTR is going to go up to $385 in the next 5 business days? Personally, I don't see it, but that they do it for a purpose, right? Now, when they go that high up, they probably don't have to pay as much money to do that, but still, for me, that 385 is a waste of money in my mind. But you know what? The day that it happens, we'll all be happy, won't we? But I mean, that's why we pay for insurance, right? You pay for insurance for the day that it happens. You don't pay for insurance for the days that it doesn't happen. So, I personally hate insurance. I hate everything about insurance. I think it's the word scam is out there, and I agree with that. But like I just said, you don't pay for it for the days that you're driving normal. You pay for it when that old lady smashes into your car, right? Or whenever you smash into that old lady's car. Let's knock on wood, everybody. Anyways, this is the credit call spreads. These are the weekly calls here as well. What do you guys think about the credit call spreads? Talk to me about your investments in MSTY. Are you happy with your investment? Are you happy with all of the distributions that you've received so far? For me, I have been in MSTY for about 8 to 9 months now, and I've been happy with the distributions. Let's talk about that target. I'm at 173 shares. I will be getting one distribution from NVDY next week. And so we'll see how much that pays me. But my goal by the end of April will be to bring my MSTY to 200 shares or above. And to do that, I need to get good distributions from NVDY. And then I need to get good distributions from MSTY. Both of those are going to go right into the MSTY fund, trying to take it to above 200 for the second time ever. But yeah, I think that's a goal of mine. We'll see how it goes. If you enjoyed today's content, I actually just did a live like a couple hours ago. So I'm going to post that right here. Click on the live. It's going to be a little more in depth, more talking to people. And if you haven't been a part of my lives before, I'd love to chit chat with you. Feel free to hit the subscribe, the like. And again, if you want to become a member of my channel, I would absolutely love to have you. We're trying to get to 10. It's only $1.99 a month, and it really helps support the channel, myself, the family, and life itself. My name is Mike. This channel is Health and Wealth. I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.